Let's begin standing with both feet about hip distance apart. So if you look at your feet, I'd like you to notice that the middle toes are right in front of the heels. And when you stand, let's begin by shifting the weight forward a little bit. And then let's shift the weight to the back, almost like you want to fall backwards a bit. So shift forward and shift back. And let's do that about 2 or 3 more times, shifting back and forth. What I'd like you to notice is how the skin that is underneath your feet begins to connect to the floor. And then from shifting back and forth, let's now do side to side. So come back to the center, and then start to shift more weight on one foot, and then more weight on the other foot. As you do this, begin to think about the crown of the head lengthening up toward the ceiling. So we have a couple of qualities here. One is having the feet grounded on the floor, and sort of like the heaviness of the legs and the pelvis sitting on the bones of the legs. And then the other quality is the spine is starting to grow. So it's almost as if the spine, instead of being heavy, sitting on the pelvis, is going the opposite direction. So the spine is going away from the pelvis upwards. And then, so we start to feel a sense of lengthening. You might start to also feel the belly engages a little bit, just slightly, don't force it. So you can continue to find that lengthening. Now, as you do this, so feeling again the skin underneath your feet on the mat, then begin to find again a center here. So notice if that center feels different. You still have the crown of the head reaching up toward the ceiling or toward the sky. Make sure that you are right in the center from being back and forth, and right in the center from being side to side. Start to notice your breath. Continue to feel the lower abdominal muscles slightly hugging in. So that is helping you to find that axial extension, lengthening the joints of the spine away from each other. And then from here, let's begin to draw the chin to the chest. So it's like we're bowing forward. And let me do this on the side. So you really want to keep your pelvis exactly in the same place. And it's just about bringing just the upper part of the spine forward a little bit. Once you feel that your lower back wants to engage, come back. And once again, bringing the chin to the chest, keeping the belly engaged. And then once your lower back wants to take over, come back. So it's a gentle bow. Chin toward the chest. The chin doesn't have to touch the chest. Keep thinking about the belly drawing in, so there's a sense of lengthening. It's almost like you have strings attached to your shoulders, and then you're being lifted upwards. And then again, rolling back up. Let's do this 3 more times. So gentle bow forward, try not to let the lower back get engaged or involved. So we're just working on the upper spine. Think from the breastbone upwards. A couple more times. Keep thinking about the shoulders lifting. And then the last time. So there is a sense of lift before you go forward in your bow. Now begin to bring both arms up toward the ceiling. And as you do this, you don't have to keep the arms straight. You can also bend the elbows a little bit. So this is a lateral bend. Start to bring the upper body slightly to the right. And you can also involve the head here. So there is a lateral bend all the way from your pelvis or from the base of the spine to the top of the head. Come back. And then the other side. Really feel still both feet as grounded as possible. And come back. And again to the right. And come back and to the left. Coming back. A couple more times. To the right. Come back and to the left. Both feet remain as equally engaged as possible. And then the last one to the right. Back to center and to the left. And back to the center. Both hands come back down. Now we've done a little bit of forward, sideways, and now let's do twisting. So what I'd like you to do is bring both hands, let's actually bring hands to elbows, shoulders down. Now here, this is the challenging part. The pelvis remains squared, facing forward. And then from the belly, begin to twist, but the pelvis doesn't switch. And then see if you can look behind you. And coming back to the center and then to the left. See if you can look behind you so the head continues to twist, but really keep the center of the arms with the center of your chest. Back to the center and again to the right, keeping the pelvis exactly where it is. Looking back. Back to the center and to the left. Looking toward the left. Back to the center. A couple more times each side. Pelvis doesn't move. So the chest is going to end up around the middle of your arms, with the middle of your arms, but you continue to turn to the back. And then head comes back, chest comes back, to the left, pelvis stays. Looking to the back. Middle of the arms with the center of the chest. Last one to the right. Keep the belly in slightly as you look back. And then back to the center. And then to the left. As you look to the back. And center. And then release your hands back down. Take the shoulders up to the ears, all the way back and all the way down. So for the next one, we're going to move further down, working on our legs. Taking your hands and bringing them on your pelvis. So this is going to create a little bit of a stability. As you bring the hands against the pelvis, shift your weight to your left leg. And as you do that, you will release your right foot off the floor. Now, one thing that tends to happen is that the pelvis starts to shift toward the left side. So the idea is that you begin to use the inner thighs and the lower abdominal muscles to lift up, so you are not hanging the weight of your whole body on the connection of the femur, the thigh bone, into the pelvis. So with your hands against your pelvis and dorsiflexing the foot, so the ankle is flexed, toes are still pointing forward, take your foot toward the right, and then with the inner thighs, bring the foot back into the center. So this is adduction and abduction of the foot. So bringing the leg in and then away from you, keep the toes pointing. You start to feel that this side of the body, the left side, it starts to burn a little bit. And then coming back into the center, let's go for 3 more. And center, belly in and out and center and out. Keep the legs straight, center, last one. And out and center. Right away, shift the weight to your right. You have both feet still hip distance apart. So shifting the weight to the right, begin to pick up the left foot and then bringing the leg from the inner thigh really close to the right. So the left leg goes away from the right. Try not to sink into the hip. Keep lifting and back in. and out, and in. This is 2, and out, and 3, and out. Keep the belly slightly in, and 4, and out, and 5, and out, and 6, and out. Let's come back halfway, both feet on the floor. Now shift the weight to your left. Right foot is forward. This time you're going to point your toes, so this is plantar flexion, and then keep your hands on your pelvis. Now we're going to start to find circles here. Your toes continue to face forward, and you're just basically almost touching the floor as your foot comes down. So let's go for 3 and 4. You're moving from the connection of the thigh bone into the hip sockets. 5 and 6. Now, instead of bringing the foot down, if you're tired, do it. But instead of doing that, bring it to the side. Then we'll go for 1, 2, 3, 4. This was a bit more challenging. 5 and 6. Before you place it down, if you're tired, do it. But otherwise, bring it back. And then we'll circle either direction. For 1, for 2, 3. Try to keep the leg completely straight. Let's say this is 4, 5, and 6. Come back to the center right away. Shift to the right. This leg maybe is burning a little bit. Bring your foot forward. And then we're going to go for 1. Don't worry about which direction you're circling, because there is also a lot of emphasis going on this right side. So let's go for 4, 5, 6. Now before you bring it all the way in to the side, going for 1, 2, 3. Think about the toes is still pointing forward. And 4, 5. Try to keep your pelvis really steady. And 6. Bring it to the back. Going for 1, and 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. Back to center. Bend your knees and lengthen. And bend your knees and lengthen. Chin to chest. So we're going to roll down a few times. So as you bring the chin to the chest, slowly begin to let your hands be heavy. You can soften the knees if you need to. Head is heavy. Once your fingertips are about to touch the floor, come back up. Think about each vertebrae at a time. So the crown of the head is the last one to come back out. And for 2, chin to chest. Soften the knees. Rolling back up. And 3, chin to chest. And back up. Let's go for 3 more, chin to chest. And back up, and 2 more, chin to chest. Back up, last one. Now the last one, we're going to hold it. Staying down. Placing both hands on the floor. Both legs walk back into plank. Shoulders back away from the ears. Crown of the head is reaching forward. If you need to lower the knees, lower the knees. Otherwise, keep your knees where they are. We're going to hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees come down onto your hands and knees. And then begin to find a sitting position. So bringing both legs straight in front of you. Bringing both arms forward, and then slowly begin to roll back down through the spine. Now here your core is going to help you, but if it's too much, you can take your hands behind the thighs as you continue to roll down. Once you come down, taking both knees into the chest, lower the head all the way down. Exhale to bring both knees into your chest. You can exhale through the nose or through the mouth. Inhale to take the knees slightly away from the chest. Exhale to bring the knees into the chest. Inhale to bring both knees away from the chest. And exhale to bring the knees in. Take your legs into a tabletop, so we're getting ready for the hundreds. And as you do that, bringing both hands forward so the fingertips are pointing toward the front, your hands are hovering off the floor. You have the choice of taking both legs straight up, keep them bent at a 90 degrees, or take your legs forward. This is going to be more challenging. Either head stays on a block or bolster, or take the head off the floor. I'm going to bring the knees into tabletop for this one. And then begin to pulse the arms. Take a deep inhale through the nose, and through the mouth, exhale. Now inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1, exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 4, 3, 2, 1, out, 4, 3, 2, 1, through the nose, 4, 3, 2, 1, through the mouth, 4, 3, 2, 1, belly in, 4, 3, 2, 1, out, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 4, 3, 2, 1, out, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 4, 3, 2, 1, out, 4, 3, 2, 1, halfway, 4, 3, 2, 1, out, 4, 3, 2, 1, in, 4, 3, 2, 1, out, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3 more, 4, 3, 2, 1, out, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2 more, 3, 2, 1, out, 4, 3, 2, 1, last one, 4, 3, 2, 1, out, 4, 3, 2, 1, both knees into the chest. And lower the head down. Take a deep inhale through the nose and through the mouth, exhale. Placing the left foot on the floor, and then taking both hands behind the right thigh as you extend your right leg up toward the ceiling. If you need to keep it bent, that's fine. Option to extend your left leg forward. Making sure both hips remain level, so the right hip is not higher than the left hip or hiking up toward the right armpit more than the left. And then begin to walk your hands along the leg just for a hamstring stretch as you continue to draw the leg closer to your chest. So each exhalation is an opportunity to bring the leg closer in. Lower back down, bringing both arms in line with your shoulders. You can actually keep your left hand on the left hip. And here we're going to go back to leg circles, similar to what we did standing. So let's go for 1 and 2. Try not to move the left hip at all. And let's go for 3. And for the smaller the circles, the easier it is because you want to find stability as opposed to a range of motion. Let's reverse the circles. So let's go the other direction for 5. It's not about range of motion. It's not about moving big. It's about stability and really moving from the smaller muscles. Let's go for 3 more. And 2 more. And then the last one. And then bring the knee back into the chest, both hands around the right knee as you hug the right knee in. Switch legs. Left knee comes in, right foot on the floor, or extend your right leg straight. Begin to bring both hands behind the left thigh as you extend your left leg up toward the ceiling, making sure that your left hip is the same height in relationship to the right and in relationship to your armpits and shoulders. And begin to walk your hands up. Just for a hamstring stretch, you can extend your right leg or keep it bent. And then once you feel a bit of a stretch there, begin to lower the head back down. Right hand can stay on the right hip, left arm out to the side. And then let's take the left leg out into a circle. It doesn't matter which direction because then we're going to switch. So let's go for 2 and 3, keeping the right hip really steady. And 4 and 5. Let's switch directions. So taking the leg to the side, maybe across the opposite leg. Let's go for 2 circles. Remember, keep your circles small if you feel your pelvis is moving too much. So try to keep the pelvis steady. 3, 2 more circles, going for 4, and then going for 5 circles. Once that's done, bring the left knee into your chest, both hands on top of the left knee. As you bring both knees in, hugging both knees into your chest. And then slowly begin to place the feet on the floor, reach your hands back. So let's move into a roll up. Extend both legs straight, keeping the toes pointing up toward the ceiling. And then start to draw the chin to the chest, look up. And as you exhale, begin to roll forward. So the idea is to try to keep your ears next to the arms as you bring the upper body toward the front. And then slowly begin to roll back down through the spine. So same idea is to keep your core engaged. If you need to bring the hands behind the thighs to help yourself come down, go ahead. And then extend both legs again, straight in front of you. Keep your arms back. So the idea is to roll up with your arms as close to the ears as possible. Coming up. Exhale. And then rolling back down. And again, 4 more. Exhale to finish rolling up. And then rolling back down. Arms stay as close to the ears as possible. You can also keep your arms forward, is easier. And roll up. And exhale forward. And then coming back down. We have 2 more after this. Try to keep your legs pretty much in the same place. 2 more. Exhale to finish the roll up, and then coming back down. And now the last one. Rolling up, and we're going to stay up. Exhale. Now once you arrive, lower the hands back down, switch forward, the weight of your body forward, and your body shifted forward. Moving into rolling like a ball. Make sure that you have a cushiony surface underneath you, so you can put a blanket underneath you, or make sure your mat is thick enough. But I'm also going to show you the variation without the rolling in case you don't want to put any weight on your spine. So the variation without the rolling is to keep the feet off the floor and begin to shift back and then shift forward. And shift back and shift forward. And shift back and shift forward, but you're trying not to put the weight on the feet at all, so the feet continue to stay off the floor. Now keep doing this variation, keep the spine rounded. Now with the variation of the spine, start to round the spine, so keep looking down to your belly. Exhale to come back. So the exhalation is going to take you forward and back as opposed to doing too much or using too much momentum. So inhale to go back. Exhale. So the exhale is trying to bring you forward more than momentum. 4 more. And 3 more. Keep looking down. Even when you go back, look down to your belly. Also, when you go back, try not to let the head touch the floor. And 2 more. Notice that the feet remain the same relationship to your pelvis, so they don't move away from the pelvis. Last one. And hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the right knee into your chest, extend the left leg forward, and then begin to roll down. So we're going to move into 1 leg stretch. And single leg stretch here. So here, knee toward the chest, shoulders down. Hand can be on the knee or your ankle. And switch. Head can be on the floor, a block or bolster if you need to. And switch. And switch. Try to keep your pelvis really steady. And switch. And let's go 4, 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Double leg stretch, both knees in. Take your arms back, legs forward. The lower, the more challenging. Circle the hands, the knees, bring the knees into your chest. And out, and exhale in. And out, and exhale in. 3 more, and out, and exhale in. 2 more, and out. Exhale in, last one, out. Exhale in, lower the head, knees to your chest. And then bring the feet onto the floor. Extend both legs forward. Moving into a roll up, arms back, chin to chest. And as you exhale, rolling all the way to the front to come back up to a sitting position. So once you come up into a sitting position, extend both legs straight in front of you. And then let's bring our arms forward for spine stretch. So inhale to lengthen through the spine. Chin to chest as you begin to reach forward. So similar to the beginning, think about that bow position. So it's almost as if the breastbone is helping you go into a forward fold and the lower back stays as steady as possible. And then come back. So inhale to lengthen, chin to the chest as you reach forward. And then come back. And 3 more. Inhale to lengthen, chin to chest as you reach forward. And come back. And then 2 more. Belly in, so you go in and up before you go forward. And come back. And last one, chin to chest. Reach forward. And come back, lower the hands. Taking both legs really close to each other. And sitting on the side. You can also extend one leg straight out to the side if this is easier. And then let's begin to bring the right hand to the floor. So both legs are on the right side. Right hand on the floor, left arm goes out toward the right. Inhale to come back to the center. And then left arm, right arm, and then the body goes to the left. And center. Switching legs. And then taking the left hand as you take the right arm up. And then back to center. And then left arm goes up. And then upper body to the right side. Keep bringing the left sit bone onto the floor. And then back to the center. Moving into a cross-legged sitting position. Or sit however is comfortable. Bringing the hands together. Thank you so much for joining me in this class today. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.